Hey, good evening. Welcome. Let's talk. And tonight is our first episode of a new show, new project, new adventure that we're working on. We're going to try something different with a show by the name of All or Nothing that was named by this young lady here. She will be the co-host, creator, innovator of the show.
Hello, hello, hello.
Literally all or nothing, and she'll give you guys a brief description of what it means and some of the things that we'll talk about. And Viv,
Yeah,
the floor is yours.
thank you, Q. So, hello, All or Nothing family. I am Viv, licensed psychotherapist, actress, writer, director, and now co host to a show. All or Nothing is a show where we talk about life, love, and literally everything in between. And the only rule we have here is that we believe in going all in and letting nothing hold us back. So, welcome.
All in, huh?
All in. All in. No other
So,
way to do it.
so Viv, you're an actress. You've been how many credited movies? What's going on with that? And
Um, I think I did 3 feature films, 1 short film, and I've done a handful of plays. I am currently in rehearsals for a play now, and I'm doing another play in September.
wow, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So tonight we know that right as of right now, the cast of A Different World is doing their 35 reunion tour.
Mm-hmm.
Been on a bunch of shows, been at a bunch of HBCUs, been at Hillman, been at Spelman, giving homage to a show that we believe, and with the title of the show, how it impacted Black culture.
Absolutely.
The show ran from 1987 to 1993, and it was a spinoff to the successful Cosby Show, where basically it was Denise had finally graduated high school, and now Denise was off to college. Denise, who was played by Lisa Bonet.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, what is your thoughts on A Different World, and just everything that they accomplished, and everything?
I mean, A Different World is one of my favorite shows. I've loved A Different World. I can't believe it went off in 1993. I'm old. I was a baby back then when it went off. One of my favorite shows. It's interesting because I know that, when we talk about the impact it had, particularly on our community, specifically when it came to education and enrollment in college and in HBCUs, it impacted a lot of Black youth. From my perspective, I definitely looked at it from a more entertainment perspective. And I think that just comes from the fact that in my household, college wasn't an option. So it didn't influence me in that way. And in terms of the different characters they had, it was familiar to me. It was kind of, it was coming from professional families, all that wasn't really new to me. So I just appreciated kind of seeing, I think, my life in some way kind of reflected. So that's what it did for me.
I thought the was funny is I was one of them people that really wasn't big on the Cosby Show.
Okay.
Until it was about to go off air. So I probably really got into both of these shows. I think the Cosby Show went off in 92.
Okay.
I got into both of these shows, I would say 1990. And I will say the reason why is because I just didn't think it was realistic.
Interesting.
However,
Okay.
yeah. However, doctor, father, doctor, mother, lawyer, just everything just seemed a little buttoned up. But as I got older, and then even going through that process, you start to realize the imagery of what Dr. Cosby was trying to show mainstream America. Like, look, there is affluent Black families.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then being that age where you about to make a decision on a trade school, you know how it goes, the service, you're going to do something.
Absolutely.
I was one of them people, I would like to say, yeah, I went to college, but I wasn't in school at that time.
Okay. Elaborate, Q. What is that? What
I mean,
happened?
Looking at A Different World was everything that I experienced going to college parties.
Okay.
It was to me that was real. Like A Different World was real. Like seeing older friends and friends
Hmm.
go to college and struggle with financial aid,
Mm. Yeah.
struggle with grades,
Okay.
struggle with, oh, you really out on your own.
Hmm.
Like you gotta, yo, I need a package. I need $20. Could you get me a package? Just some laundry
Yeah.
detergent, so forth and
Yep.
so on. So A Different World to me at that time, it had a bigger impact than I even appreciate it more now. I think A Different World was one of the greatest shows ever.
Agreed. Agreed. I won't
I
argue
think
that.
it really, really did a lot for our culture. It made people believe in, because we got a and even for our audience,
Hmm.
pre-internet, a
Hmm.
lot of people may not understand that we basically got a lot of our information off of TV,
Yeah.
books, or
Yep.
newspapers. So you didn't know, like even HBCUs, I knew of, Hampton, and
Hmm.
everybody knew of Howard. And if you grew up in Jersey like us, you knew the Grambling Southern game at the Meadowlands
Absolutely.
every year.
Yep.
So you knew that. So
Hmm.
you knew the HBCU, but you didn't. I don't think back then people understood why a lot of younger black kids were choosing HBCUs.
Hmm. Yeah.
Still having that link to the culture and
Hmm.
because definitely if you grew up in areas that are more diverse, you
Yeah.
probably never been around that many black
Black
friends.
people. I mean, that was probably my experience. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I applied to quite a few HBCUs. I'll be honest, I don't know if I had any real intention of going, if I'm being real. I applied to a lot of them. I got in, but I don't know if HBCU would have been for me at the end of the day. I think not that it would. I love black people. Please don't get me wrong. I don't want no hate mail, but I I don't yeah, I don't know if the atmosphere was going to be my thing. Like, mm-mm. So yeah, I went to a PW, predominantly white. Yeah, PWI.
And then honestly, it was like, for me, the perfect storm,
Hmm.
because I know you probably remember this. This is when everybody came out with the hoodies. All
Hmm.
the sweatshirts was out with the HBCU sweatshirts was out.
Yeah.
Hip hop was probably at its
Hmm.
essence, like
Yeah.
far as conscious rap and being,
Hmm.
teaching black people who they are, having knowledge of self and self-awareness, having some, we were at the end of the Black Pride in the 70s. So
Hmm.
it was like everything was like boom all together. So I really appreciated that show. And then, seeing now, like 35 years.
I know. I know. It makes you feel old. Damn, I'm like 35-year reunion. Shit. Yeah. So
Yeah,
okay,
so
so who was your favorite character? Who did you identify with?
I like Lisa Bonet.
Of course you
But
did.
then, Denise left the show.
Mm-hmm.
She started. I believe what's interesting is she started becoming a younger woman. Because they were kids on the
On
Cosby
Cosby Show.
Show,
Yeah.
and then to go to that show, basically have her own show, and she was going to college. I think it's funny that she may have left the show, but I think if they would have kept filming her experience in her personal life, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and talk about like, yo, everybody that go to college ain't gonna graduate. That don't mean that your road to success or your road to your
Mm.
journey stops.
Interesting.
You know,
Okay.
Dwayne Wayne, that was my guy. Kadeem Harrison. Everybody liked him. He was like a corny guy though, but he was cool.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
A cool, corny guy. I did not like Whitley. I could not take Jasmine Guy's voice.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't take her. I
I
couldn't
like
take it. But
Whitney.
look at this. I got this up. I don't know if you could see it. These are some of the actors that came through there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how good you could see it.
I
You
can
got
kind of think I have it on my phone
you
too.
got
I think
you
I have
got
that pulled up.
Jasmine Guy, Kadeem Harrison, Darryl Bell, Dawn Lewis. Dawn was really good. Dawn,
She was.
um,
Charnel Brown,
yes.
Lisa Cree as Freddie Brooks.
Glenn Thurman. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's the OG. It's like he hasn't gone nowhere from Cooley High still,
I know.
and he's
Uh-huh.
still around.
Who else? Oh, Jennifer Lewis. I forgot she was the dean.
Yes,
She was on there.
amazing. Diane Carroll,
Mm-hmm. Patty.
Patti LaBelle. So it's amazing. Some more people here. Candy Alexander, Dean Kahn. Amazing.
Yep.
So I think that's one of the interesting things that when you look back at that show, you see all the actors, particularly black actors that came through there,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like more of okay for them it's a job, but it was
Yeah.
showing their attachment to, as people say, black culture and showing
Mm-hmm.
just being more of an inspiration. I think that those shows, it's unfortunate. I don't know if the reruns to A Different World come back on. I know the Cosby Show don't show reruns. The Cosby Show
Mm-mm.
nowhere. You know, I
I
guess
would love to watch A Different World
that's
again.
a tragic thing.
I know. Yeah. I like the Cosby Show. Always did. Always did.
So you don't know if A Different World inspired you to go to wanted to go to HBCU?
Mm-mm. I don't think so. Because, like I said, it wasn't that life was not foreign to me. So it wasn't new to watch. Like the Cosby Show wasn't odd to me to see a doctor and a lawyer. You know what I mean? Like in terms of professionals. And yeah, for college, no, it didn't inspire me to want to go to HBCU. Like I said, I identified with the character. I'm like, okay, I'll be in college one day. I don't know where I'm gonna be, but I'm gonna be somewhere. I ended up with white people at UVA. Wahoo! But you know, it was cool.
Supporting gaming. Nah, that's not. You said fun fact. Viv stands for Vivian, and it's steroids. Q stands for Quentin, Quincy, or question.
Viv doesn't stand for Vivian, but okay.
Yeah, the Q does stand for one of those. Supporting gaming. Supporting gaming. I know you're a little bit younger than Viv and myself. Did you ever catch the reruns of A Different World? And what's your thoughts if you ever watched the show? So yeah, I didn't run home and watch it.
Really?
No,
You weren't really into it like that.
I got no.
Okay.
No.
Okay. What were you watching? What was Q doing?
I was too busy trying to hang out and chase girls.
Okay.
Like that was, I would hear, because everybody knows that music for it coming on.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be like, okay, it's on. But I wasn't pressed to be like, yo, gotta go home to watch this show, and
Okay.
this is what you gotta do. My friends, they would talk about it the next day in school or whatever,
Mhm.
or we mention it, but it wasn't like
It's like a
a
must see for you. Yeah.
when I started watching. Like I said, I might have caught in those 6 seasons, I might have caught about 10 episodes.
Damn. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And the wedding, the season finale was the greatest.
Yeah. The wedding is epic.
And after that, I seen each episode after with the reruns. And
Okay.
like I said, I think that the show, when you look back at it now, it was definitely needed
Mm-hmm.
compared
Yeah.
to now. No,
I was gonna,
reality TV.
so let me ask you, do you think a show like that would resonate now? How do you
Hmm.
think a show like that would do?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think one of the problems with us is that we've dumbed down.
Hmm. Okay.
We think that people don't have attention spans like they used
Mm-hmm.
to give a show like this. They want to see the messiness. I don't think you have to do that. I think you could, and TV is all about the ratings, the first
Mm-hmm.
10, 15 minutes of a show. So everybody's trying to catch the next best thing, and you got to stay relevant and
Yeah.
popping.
Yeah.
I think, look at Abbott Elementary. Abbott Elementary is a really good
Fair.
show.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I know a lot of people have told me to watch it and, really get into it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do it in a way that's positive, inspiring, like Blackish. I did not. Let me tell you about Blackish, right? Since we talk about shows. When I first heard a Blackish name was going to be a name for a show, I was so pissed.
Were you? Why?
Because I just thought it was like, what? Like, why would you name a show that?
Yeah.
But Blackish had a run. Blackish, I think, was on for 8-9 seasons. And when you think about the context of their shows, they touched. I don't like shows that go too much into quote unquote political or social narratives. Sometimes I think they should be touched on. And they should be touched on from two different perspectives. I think a lot of these shows nowadays, when they touch on these narratives, they're touched on from a certain perspective.
Okay.
Like for example, A Different World. That was not a show to you that was your normal. That was your normal. To have a bunch of friends talk about school and, professional 2-parent homes. That was more for lack of better words, I'm just using this for an example. You guys in the chat don't get on me about it. Inner city people that may have came or may have had a broken home. I won't say a broken home, a home without the 2-parent home. So that was more inspiring for them. So that was a show that touched on two different narratives. And even back then, remember when the Cosby Show came back on and quote unquote they were poor? Remember they did a spinoff and they were poor. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. That didn't do too well though, did it?
No.
Okay, I'm about to say. That didn't do too hot.
Yeah. Tupac definitely did. Tupac came on there. I caught it in reruns a few times, but I didn't watch it. Yeah, because see, Tupac was not he was not the rapper. He was more of an actor.
Yeah, absolutely. I forgot what was his name. Crap. What was his name on the show? I'm picturing Lena, that character, saying it. I can't remember what his name.
And even with that, with Jada Pinkett being on there, a lot of actors came through these two shows. When you think of it. Yeah, like Blackish. Blackish was interesting. So I think, Viv, like what I mean, you could have a show that's not a reality show now.
I agree. Absolutely.
But like I remember, and I don't know if you could remember this, is that when Channel in the Northeast area, Channel 9 had all them shows and on UPN. And everybody used to say, "Oh, this is United Plantation Ends," right? Everybody has some derogatory to say, but they had a lot of black shows like Sister. They had the show with the Parkers, and they were geared towards the quote unquote black experience, and those shows just disappeared. Yeah. And like even now, you can't find them. You gotta go on BT to find Queensmen. Like, and I'm not saying that Queensmen. I haven't never watched it. I know that Christian Keys is the original writer of Queensmen, but I know that we can do network TV. Abbott Elementary is very good, and I have watched it probably like twice. But you have it. Just think, it's more. Most of the network shows are about law enforcement.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
it's like law enforcement, fire, ambulance, like
CSI,
just action packed. So yeah, I do think they need to be able to. And I know it's hard when you're, because you're an actress. When you have this project, it's hard to get the funding and it's hard to get green lighted for stuff like this. Network TV, it's prime real estate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's Wednesday. This Chicago Wednesday.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, that's all. I really don't have much, like, I'm quite sure we're gonna do a lot of different show reviews with All or Nothing. And I know that you You have a lot of ideas. I know when the brain start working and you start thinking of stuff we could discuss.
Hmm.
Like you said, it could be all over the place. I mean,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you be getting me going too early in the morning, Q, with your posts, man. Why you piss me off early in the morning? So we have a lot to go back.
no, I don't mean to do that. What it is that I think that I hope nobody gets bored with us having this type of conversation. I think that social media has made people antisocial.
Okay. You mean in terms of just the lack of need for like human interaction, in-person interaction?
Text me instead of calling me.
That works for me. I'm glad we're in that age. Don't
Why?
call me. I hate talking on the phone. I don't like being around people. So it works for me. I do not like talking on the phone.
Why?
I don't have the energy. I'm a hardcore introvert. I don't have the energy. People drain me, and I like to be by myself.
That's interesting. See, and I like to engage. I like to be in the
Oh,
mix.
okay.
Um, I'm one of them people that to nail me down and to say something is straight up black or white.
Hmm.
I don't believe it's very rare. It might be five things that exist in this world that I may believe is black and white. I think that as human beings, you have to be flexible because
Hmm.
you could be staunch black and white on an issue today
Hmm.
based off the information you have,
Hmm.
and then tomorrow, under more
Absolutely.
information, you'd be like, no, a
Hmm.
different perspective.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then all of our maturation process changes.
Hmm. Hmm.
We view the world different based off of where we are in our life.
Hmm.
Like you see a lot of people nowadays, they have become the baby boomers, the get off my lawn type of people, and they don't even realize it.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
And then you may have a person, for example, with me perspective, I look at my son. My
Hmm.
son is 28, right?
Okay.
He'll be 28 in a couple months. He's not doing a quarter of the stuff that I did at 28.
Hmm.
And I'm glad.
Okay. So
I'm glad.
what do you care to share with us what you were doing
And
at 28?
no, I was grown. I thought I was grown. 28, you feel like you're grown. You want to be grown.
Hmm.
You may want to be grown, but don't be responsible enough to be grown.
Okay.
So, as they say, you live and you learn as you go.
Hmm.
You make a lot of decisions, mistakes, learning experiences at ages where you could have regrets.
Hmm.
Do I have regrets? I'm not gonna say I do. I'm not gonna say I don't. But he has not put himself in my shoes at his age. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Hmm.
He's made better decisions, better
Okay.
things that I can only imagine when he gets, if he gets blessed to get to 58,
Yeah.
where he would be, how his thought pattern would be.
Hmm.
So I'm proud of that. Now then you get the ones that be like, oh, these kids nowadays, they too much.
Too much like what?
I mean,
I don't like I said before we came on, we were talking. I said there's really nothing new under the sun. At the end of the day, we get older and then we get shocked by what we see, and we're like, oh, all the ass is shaking, and oh my, we were doing the same thing. We were
yeah.
doing the same thing at our
Just to
age.
give context, back in the Cosby Show days, they had a song called "Doing the Butt."
That's yes. Thank you. So at the end of the day, we were
That was
shaking our
twerking. That
asses.
was twerking back then.
It was. So, and when back that ass up comes on, hello, we running out to the floor. We were shaking our ass too. So
Yeah, supporting gaming. In a few years, you think your generation is going to say the same thing about the new. That's what a lot of people do. Like I said, supporting game. I know you're a little younger, but you don't want to be the person that criticize the generation. You want to be able to listen to them, to hear them, to get information from them, because you want to stay, as they say, relevant with the times.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't watch reality TV, but I know enough about reality TV where I could be able, oh, that's such and such from such and such show. And,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
like I think Mona Scott is a genius.
Do you?
Yeah. She's created, you know, you tell people, find a lane and stay in it.
Fair.
She found a lane. She found a niche.
Mm-hmm.
People may not like the content of the niche.
Yeah.
But she's found a niche, and she has really made a life for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? And I'm quite sure her maturation eventually is going to be like, it's time to move on to something different.
You think? Because I think at her age, it's nothing wrong with it. It's about money. If that money keeps rolling in, I don't know how much she's going to mature past reality TV. I don't blame her.
I hope so. I hope so.
Listen.
So tell me about your plays. Do you like plays?
I do. I think theater, in terms of acting, I think theater is an important foundation, because it teaches you stamina, number one, right? As an actor, having to go through multiple scenes, run backstage, do a quick change and come back out. It teaches you stamina as an actor, and how to really like be in the moment, because you got some long scenes, and how to improv. So I enjoy theater. It's tiring. I'd rather do film, but.
Who's your favorite theater actor?
I mean, you know what? As much as I love theater, I don't. What's her name? Joaquina. Is it Joaquina? I can't remember her last name. Joaquina K. She's awesome. But I mean, so honestly, how many film actors have gone through theater?
You know who Avery Brooks is? Yes.
He's phenomenal. But I mean, yes, they've all gone through theater. Denzel, Felicia Rashad. I mean, you name them.
You know what's interesting is everybody loves Denzel. Everybody, always call him the greatest, the best actor. I think you don't really appreciate him until you see him in theater. I think that he takes on the role well. I mean, he commands. He has it. He has the stage presence. He has the whole quote unquote package. I'm surprised he never came through a different world, which is interesting.
Yeah, true.
Because you would have thought his ilk he would have probably did really well on that show. But
he could have been a dean, I think.
Yeah, Avery Brooks was someone who, as a kid, I remember from Spencer for Hire, but I knew that he was a theater actor, and you get an opportunity to meet people. You know how theater is. You meet the cast after the play, and it's like some of them are very, very friendly. So I had met him one time. I remembered him from Spencer for Hire, and he just was, very good actor. Very good actor.
Was he not nice?
Oh, he was really nice. He was real nice.
Okay.
Really nice, really cordial, really good.
Oh, okay. All right.
Really good.
Okay. I thought you were trying to say he wasn't. Okay.
So, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I don't think so. Well, I mean, so cute. I know other people, because you have, a large following and people know you. But so what are some other things you do? Share that with me.
I am literally into my content.
Okay.
I love, like I told you, and you more than one time. I'm a conversationalist. I love to conversate. Love to have fun. I'm into sports. Okay. Not like I used to, but I'm into sports. I watch a lot of sports. I love TV. I love cinema. I love really good shows. when I do a review, and when we do a review together, hopefully we could do American Fiction together. I did American Fiction, but I gotta, we have to force each other to do it to really talk about a show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into character, like if we're doing a series,
Mm-hmm.
I'm big on character development.
Okay.
I pick it apart. I know a lot of people sometimes when Dwayne and Keisha and myself, when we do Power, we do Power in the Shy. We've been doing Power in the Shy for over 4 years.
Okay.
And a lot of people feel like our criticisms of the show is harsh. I don't think they're harsh. We were all three of us was original Power fans. I've been friends with Dwayne since 6th grade. I've been basically friends with Keisha since forever. Okay. So our friendships is very generic. So it would be when we do a show, it's like us talking on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And we may talk, we don't do no pre-production. Like, yo, you're going to take this. We don't do none of that.
Gotcha.
We try to be is very authentic about a show. Yeah. So a lot of times people that watch shows, do reviews on shows, in my opinion, they be kissing ass. They be making it seem like the shows are super amazing, that they're the best thing on TV. When some of these shows have bad lines, the plots be all over the place, the character development be terrible. Then you got the certain actor or actors that got bad comic relief.
I feel like you have a movie in mind right now. You know which one I'm talking about.
Oh,
TPs.
I mean, I was really disappointed. And Viv is speaking about Mea Culpa. I wasn't disappointed in TP. My thing with Tyler Perry, supporting gaming, I never did BMF, and it is a personal reason why I never did BMF. So I've never did a BMF show. I can't do it. I'm not the one for the BMF review. But anyway, as far as Mea Culpa, I was not disappointed in TP. TP, one thing I learned about Tyler Perry is a smart man. His plays were very good for that time in, as we say, the culture. Very good. He accomplished a lot. Got his studios. I was more, the way that they promoted Mea Culpa, that's where I fell for the hype. They promoted Mea Culpa like it was going to be this great, great film. And then it was Kelly Rowland. I'm like, okay, I think she can act. Mea Culpa, I thought was trash. I thought the writing was trash. I thought the writing was all over the place. I thought Kelly Rowland, I thought the actors did good.
Yeah.
They could. For example, in Mea Culpa, I don't think that no black woman would allow their white mother-in-law to ever get to that point where she was just blatantly disrespecting her, inviting other women to dinner. Like,
it was unrealistic.
I could see in the beginning of the marriage, but I can't see it towards the end. Like, it just got so. And then, with all due respect, I'm taking care of your sorry ass son. Now that's my husband. I love him. And then to throw to all the wrenches, and then she unbuckled the seat belt at the end and crashed into the daggone semi, and she survived. Like, come on! To me, and like I said, I'm criticizing someone who's as accomplished as Tyler Perry. So a person to be like, well, who the hell is you? I'm the consumer.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly.
I'm the consumer. And I think that when we criticize art, we're afforded the right to critique it and tell them how we feel.
Yeah.
I think Tyler has brilliant ideas. But I think one of the things with brilliant ideas is that you have to align yourself with brilliant ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You have to align yourself with other people to shoot stuff at. Everybody talks about Tyler Perry with Queen's Men, but a lot of people do not know that Christian Keys wrote it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Queen's Men, from what I hear, is very good.
Okay. Have to check it out.
So with that, I mean, you have I'll just use Francis Ford Coppola.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot of stuff with Martin Scorsese. Why? They're both got Italian heritage.
Mm-hmm.
So ideas are able to shoot with each other. I think Tyler Perry can be excellent. Even Will Packer. Will Packer's excellent in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't like Girls Trip because I thought it was too stereotypical.
Really?
But I think that a lot of times our stories don't have to be forced.
Mm-hmm.
Our stories are our stories. Like we talked about A Different World, and this is the topic of the show. It didn't mean nothing. Not it didn't mean nothing to you, but it was not normal. It was your normal.
It's my norm, right?
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So when you look at Tyler, it's always the disrespectful black man who done shit it. Now this guy and Mia Coppola was a womanizer. He done slept with everybody. You don't know if he slept with the mother. The way the mother was acting. And then, you know, he slept with the sister, the best friend. So now the brother, to get him back, used his brother to conspire against his wife. Like, where did all that come? Like, when did he decide to go against his wife? So it just was a lot. I think he tried to squeeze a lot of different plots in there and threw a
But he does that all the time, though. That's my criticism. I am critical of Tyler Perry because that is my criticism as a consumer. He doesn't do good character development. A lot of his character development doesn't make sense to the character, period. He tells this long, drawn-out story and then gets to the end and rushes through the ending and just throws things in there. It's not, I always say, like, smart storytelling is important. He doesn't make the audience, like, he doesn't put the pieces together where someone's watching like, oh, that's how that happened. You know, I don't know why I was talking to, was it you I was talking to when you kept referencing that they kept talking about the skull matter on the wall, et cetera, and that whole scene, it was just glossed over. And I'm sitting there like, can somebody address the blood and skull? Like, how do we just gloss through it? So he does that a lot. It's a lot.
And then the picture with all the different portraits of women, like,
listen,
the one that took me all the way out. This is the part that took me all the way out, Viv. She went to Dominican Republic to clear her head.
Listen. And
she bumped into this girl.
Listen. Thank you. I was like, that's really what we're doing right now. I was like, okay, that's where we're going. That's the story. And this girl, after doing all this, faking her death, didn't have more money. She had to go be a maid at a resort. Come on.
And just so happened to go to Dominican Republic?
Exactly. Plot holes. Like I said.
And I think that we as consumers, like I said, we're allowed to tell Tyler how we feel, and we should get more. And I think, and I love black filmmakers. I think black filmmakers are awesome. I think Nate Parker, I think, is awesome. You know, before he kind of got blackballed. Yeah. I think that given the opportunity, you know, a lot of the actors that go into, Eric LaSalle is doing great, you know, behind the scenes. Michael T. Williamson, they write a lot of stuff. They write a lot of the network shows, and they really like Power. Mm-hmm. I think that one of the issues even I've had with Power was the writing table.
Okay.
My thing with that is, okay, 50 might not be a writer. Mm-hmm. Courtney kind of stepped away from her baby. I don't like a whole bunch of writers writing the series. Because even though you could tell me your vision, you tell 4 people your vision, we're all going to paint a different picture.
Yeah.
We can try as much as we possible to paint the picture that you told us,
Mm-hmm.
but I cannot create your vision. So my vision, so you talking about power, having that grit, having that street
Mm-hmm.
grit where the fans could identify with it, right? You could tell me that I may have a background from the street. Like, for example, you got to do Effie Rivera. He's got a background for the culture.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a pulse for the culture. So he can write a script that we have everything in it, part of it. And then you might have another another writer who's really good writer,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't know nothing about it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
this is it goes back to the interview that Denzel did on Sirius Radio, where he was explaining fences,
Okay.
and Denzel was like, the reporter asked Denzel about why was it important to have these black characters.
Mm-hmm.
Denzel said, it's not about race, it's about culture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Culturally, like he said,
Yeah.
you know, if you put that daggone straightening cone in your hair, that smell.
Right.
Viv, you could walk in a million black women's houses and smell that smell, and you're gonna know that smell.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when Denzel said it, it struck something in me, because we have to understand that you don't see Martin Scorsese doing Schindler's List.
Right.
Schindler's List was
culturally.
only a person that's a Jewish person. I'm not saying other ethnicities can't do a great movie. I'm not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to come off culturally to identify with what happened.
Yes. Yep.
So it goes all the way back to A Different World.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Cosby had a vision, and it speaks about the black experience, being able to identify. It was your norm. It wasn't my norm.
Right.
But then when I started seeing what was going on, you can't go to school this semester because your financial aid is messed up.
Right.
Now I got friends going through it, so now I can identify.
Yeah.
So that's my thing with these other shows and stuff, because you have to be able to attach to your audience from a cultural standpoint.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
Like Sex and the City. Sex and the City was a fabulous show. Did well. I know a lot of black women that loved that show.
Yeah.
But for a lot of black women, that wasn't their particular reality.
Yes. Right. So, I mean, it served as, I think a lot of black women loved it. It served as an escape. It was fantasy for many of us. Yeah. It was fantasy, which shows should be.
Exactly.
So,
any other final thoughts, young lady?
No final thoughts. No final thoughts.
All right, well,
more.
No, that's about it. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hopefully we'll be back soon. We don't know when, but we'll be back. We try to do this as much as possible, but just stay tuned to the channel. I'll make sure you'll be updated on next time. We'll do episode 2 of All or Nothing. You never know what we're going to talk about. We don't know what we're going to talk about sometimes, but we'll be back, and make sure you guys join us, and appreciate everybody for showing up and showing out. Stay on, Viv.